make sure you were paying attention.
I was paying attention.
Okay, anyways. How do I actually want to say this? You know, the Switch 2 announcement was a little disappointing, in my opinion. And the older I get and the more I game, especially on a PC, I think I've realized how, not even realized, but the more the Switch has gone lower and lower and lower on the totem pole for me.
Is that because it doesn't run Party Animals?
You want to know something? I don't even play Party Animals that much anymore.
Sorry, is that because it doesn't have Marvel Rivals pre-installed on them?
I haven't been playing Marvel Rivals either, okay?
Okay. Sorry, is that because of what game you guys have been playing?
Repo.
Repo.
No, it just...
It's not a repo machine.
It just, I don't know. I have been just mildly disappointed, and I feel like... part of the reason that we're doing this episode, guys, if you're listening, is to compare what we thought was going to happen a few, like, when was that? Like episode 17, so like a month-ish ago, I think.
Yeah.
What we thought the Switch 2 is going to be like, and now that we know the news of the Switch 2, what it's actually going to be like, and kind of comparing notes of like, okay, let's compare, but then also like, what did we actually get, and talk about that. Yeah. And it's funny because in the episode, because I was listening to it in the car just as a refresher, Alex has said, he was like, I don't think we're going to get a very big jump.
No.
And I was really hopeful that you were going to be wrong in that moment. And you weren't. It really is like, it feels like nowadays it's kind of like the iPhone. Like I don't feel the need to get the new iPhone every time because the jump is so small unless you wait like a few like series. And then it feels like a jump. This felt like one series of an iPhone to the next. Like there was nothing, like I'm excited about some of the stuff, but it wasn't big enough for me to be like, oh my God, you know?
Yeah, there is a bit of diminishing returns, just like graphics can only get so good.
Mm-hmm.
I will say it seems as though this is a much more powerful machine, right? Like it's able to run Elden Ring. Mm-hmm. There seems to be... Like I think there was Final Fantasy VII Remake is coming to it. Like there's some like pretty big third party developers who can already who seem already on board for like porting their stuff over. But I'm also like, is this just going to be a Steam Deck that can also play Zelda? Because I'm okay with that. I don't have a Steam Deck, but
for the price, like I don't know, I'm not going to buy a Steam Deck. I would actually. Let me resend what I was about to say because I was about to say
because it would play Repo.
I was going to say I'm not going to buy a Steam Deck just to play Zelda, but if it was a new Zelda, I would. But
I
just
the last
yeah,
Switch
literally
to play Zelda.
But it just seems so silly, especially with the price point right now. I mean, how did you feel about the price?
How did I feel about the price?
Yeah.
You know what? It was a bit higher than what I expected, especially like here in Canada. I'm going to be paying like 800 Canadian, something like that, 700 Canadian for the console after tax and everything. I'll find out tomorrow, I guess. I get to go pre-order it tomorrow. So,
really?
Yeah, I'm going to.
Also, you guys are going to be hearing us talk about things, and it's probably going to seem a little odd because we are
in the future.
We are we are recording this a little bit earlier because I'm going to Vegas tomorrow.
Yeah, Lizzie wanted to record one last episode while still in her 20s. So let me know if you need help like making your like text size any larger on your phone or anything. Mm-hmm, you know, I hear in old age it's harder to see things. Mm-hmm, so I say
I'm not the one wearing glasses.
Yeah.
Anyway,
turning 30 in a couple days, so you know,
whatever. Happy birthday from the Still Loading podcast.
Happy birthday, Lizzie.
Yeah.
Everyone wish Lizzie a happy birthday.
Just so everyone knows, it's on the 10th. So we're recording this on the 8th. So yes, by the time that you guys are hearing this, I'll already be 30 and I'll be back. And Alex will have already pre-ordered the Nintendo 2, the Switch 2.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I don't know what people, because the response has been so mixed on it, right? And even like when the first Switch came out, I dropped everything to go right when GameStop opened and pre-ordered my Switch. And then I waited in line because I was so excited. Like I waited in line overnight so I'd be the first person in my city to get a Switch. So I could then go home and play Zelda all day. But this time around, it's like, okay, what are they really launching with that I'm super excited about? Like there's Mario Kart will be fun.
I just I'm sorry, but I just don't think that's like, I feel like they should have just waited until they had a bigger game. Like, I don't think Mario Kart is the game to be like, we're launching the Nintendo Switch with Mario Kart. It's like, okay, there's a lot of people, and I'm not diminishing Mario Kart. There's a lot of people who love that game. But that is not the, like...
Well, it's not Mario. It's not even Donkey Kong, right? Like, that new Donkey Kong game would have been a cool launch title, but it doesn't come out for, like, 6 weeks after it releases.
And that's another thing. Like, why not wait until you have like I would say you'd want. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm not part of the marketing team. I know nothing about marketing, but you'd think that they'd want like 2 or 3 brand new. Like, it's just gonna suck. You get the Switch 2, and then you got to wait 6 more weeks to get some of the games that are made for this new system.
You can buy a tech demo.
Wow.
That's.
Wow.
That's one thing they're offering. Hey, here's a tech demo. Pay us for it.
Yeah,
it's just the way things are going, I guess, in that sense. But yeah, I am gonna buy it. I'm gonna be excited about it. I'm probably just going to play Switch games on it that I haven't finished yet. But if I don't get a pre-order and I have to wait, I'm okay with that too.
I am pretty sure we're gonna end up getting one. Literally, even just the other day, my husband was like, "Yeah, well, when we get the Switch 2," and I was like, kind of looked at him funny. I was like, "Really?" And he was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Might as well." He's like, "Everybody, all of his friends have also been talking about like getting one." He's like, "You're gonna want one sooner or later, so we'll probably end up getting one." But I lost my train of thought for where I was going with that. I'll be so real, but I think in the end, yeah, I'll get one. And my hope is that like a Zelda game will come.
Oh, well.
At some point for the Switch 2. Just a matter of time.
I was so Mario.
Listen, and Alex fucking toasted my ass. He's so listen, he's so mean to me outside of this, okay, guys? I'm kidding. I was so excited because if you watched the Switch 2 like announcement, they had a stupid freaking, what is it called? Hyrule Warriors?
Hyrule Warriors, yeah.
Stupid. I tried the last one because everybody...
title?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I tried the one before it, the Calamity one or whatever it's called, or whatever the first one was, because everybody raved about how good like the cutscenes were and it was really fun, and I hated it. I did not like the mob mentality of the game. Like, it's just not for me. And then you see and you hear Zelda talking, and she's talking about how you're gonna get like all this background. And I'll be real, I got really excited for 2 seconds because like the way that they had like, it was like Zelda and you're walking behind her. I was like, oh my God, are we gonna get a Zelda game that's like Zelda? And then it was like, as soon as like I saw the mob, I was like, you're fucking kidding me. So maybe I'll watch the cutscenes on YouTube, but I won't play the game. It's not my kind of game.
I liked Hyrule Warriors.
Did you play all of it?
Yeah, I finished it.
Really? Huh.
Yeah, and I'm gonna play this one. I will.
No, I don't know about that. We'll see, but I highly doubt it.
I almost feel like I'm pre-ordering the Switch to get it day one, just because I've been a day one adopter of every Nintendo console since the DS. Like, this is probably the least excited I've been about a slate of launch titles.
Yeah,
ever.
I kind of agree with that
for a Nintendo console. Like,
yeah,
even Wii U, I felt like had more going on early in the console's life, and that console was dead for most of its life. But
that's true. Yeah,
it launched with a couple cool things, and then kind of just nothing came out.
Before we get into like some of the games and whatnot, because there's a few things that I am excited about it. I will say I am excited that the screen is bigger, because that's something we did talk about last time. That was one of the things that I wanted a bigger screen.
Yep.
So I'm super excited that we're getting a bigger screen, and it's OLED, right? It might be even better than that.
It's better than that.
I was gonna say it's because now you can push actual good graphics like to your TV, which is also really nice. Because that was one of the biggest gripes, like obviously as like the years went on from getting it, it was like, wow, the graphics for this are kind of crap when you're running 720 kind of graphics on a TV that can run like 4K, you know. So being able to get a bigger screen with a better screen, better graphics is very exciting to me. I can appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm hopeful. Though I think there's, like you said, there comes a point where with the more like stylized cartoon graphics, like I don't need 4K gaming on my Nintendo consoles. I think it's promising that like FromSoft is backing it with that new game that looks like Bloodborne 2, but not Bloodborne, and a little bit more anime. I'm very excited about that game. And it's just, I guess I'm at a point where a lot of Nintendo games, I think they look fine, and I've never really been one for graphics. Like my favorite console is the Nintendo 64, and it like objectively is just like has like the ugliest games, right?
I love the Nintendo 64.
But that's okay because they're just so joyful. But I'm just there like, man, the Pokemon Company is still going to feed us shitty looking games, and everyone's going to make up excuses for it. And I'm just like, I'm tired, boss, because now there's no excuse.
But you don't think you'd want a better looking screen for things like Elden Ring?
I have my computer for Elden Ring.
I guess that's true. Yeah, I guess we're going to pick something to run it on, pick it.
And I'm not playing Elden Ring on in handheld mode. It's gonna break my hands. I need a pro controller, and if I'm gonna do that, it's gonna be plugged into a TV. And honestly, I've played through Elden Ring several times, and I don't really need to play it again on my Switch 2. I probably won't even get it.
Elden Ring's not my type of game, so it's not something that I'm gonna pick up. But I will say, as far as like game goes, I was really excited to see that they're doing like the GameCube stuff though.
Yeah,
because Wind Waker was on GameCube.
Twilight Princess was on GameCube too.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But we won't get. Wasn't there one that we'd be missing then? There was one that I thought.
Skyward Sword was the only Wii exclusive.
I didn't like that one anyways.
Yeah,
it's another controversial opinion of mine about.
But there's other like the first Luigi's Mansion is on GameCube. Ooh. Mario Sunshine.
I haven't played Mario Sunshine in so long. I'd be excited to play that one. Oh my god, I'd be so excited to play that one.
Smash Bros. Melee.
I can't get into Smash Bros.
Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. Pokemon Coliseum. Like, there's a lot of really great games on the GameCube that I'd love to revisit.
Speaking of Pokemon, do you want to see some of my cards real quick?
Do you want to see your cards? Show me your cards.
I have picked a really bad time to try to get into the Pokemon card game, guys. Yeah. And I'll be so fucking for real. I am purely just collecting cute cards at this point. Like, I have a list of cards that I really want. I like the whole ripping packs and seeing the gamble of it is fun for me. Is it frustrating? Yes, but I think that's half the reason that I like doing this is because I like being ooh, am I gonna get the card that I want? Let me tell you a little story though. So I found a card. It's Cleffa. It's in Obsidian Flame. It's a full art beautiful freaking card. It's literally Cleffa standing on this little rock, and it's all it's water in the sky, and there's a shooting star behind her. Beautiful. I saw it and I was like, that's the card that I'm gonna start looking for. Okay. I was like, Obsidian Flame, that's all I want. I'm gonna get that card. I shit you guys not. Week before last, I can't find any cards, mind you. Okay. Week before last, my friend Liv was like, hey, my friend found me a bunch of cards. She had one freaking stack of Obsidian Flame, one pack.
Yeah.
Motherfucker pulled that fucking Cleffa.
Damn, dude.
I screamed. I jumped out of my seat. She felt so bad, and she doesn't need to feel bad. But of course, the fucking card I wanted, she fucking got. So I want that one, but I also want, there is a Charmander or Charizard. I don't know who it is. It's one of the evolutions box. It's the EBT boxes. And in it is a Charmander, It's like their promo card, but it's the one where he's like up against the glass looking like a very angry dog. It's very, very cute. I gotta find the box though, because you can't. I didn't realize that it's not a card that you could just rip out of packs. But here, I'll show y'all. If you're watching this on YouTube, it'll be on YouTube. And I'll probably put some of them on TikTok. But I do have, these were really cool. The little guy is up there, but there's a Charmeleon that is really
cute.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I love Charizard. To be honest, Charmeleon is the one that I could do without, I think.
Really? Mm-hmm. He's got the middle stage evolutionitis.
Yeah, he kind of ugly. But then I'm super addicted to Charmander now is my problem. I think he's the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Very cute.
With his little teeth.
So when are you going to try the games again?
That's a great question. Let me hold. Oh my God, my husband's calling me. Okay, he's going to have to wait. Hold. I'll cut this out. I got to text him real quick.
Sure.
He's at work. Okay. So those are some of the good ones that I got. And I did get some other really cool ones. Like I got this one who's really, really cute. Hold on, let me take it out. It's way easier if I...
That's Pawmot?
Uh-huh.
Very cute.
And then I got a Jolteon, which is really cool.
Okay.
And so we all in my little friend group hate on all the birds, like any of the Pidgey birds.
Why do you hate on the birds?
He's fucking ugly.
Birds?
He's ugly. I'm sorry. It's true. But, and then what happens to me? My best friend pulls the Cleffa that I want. And what do I pull?
Cute little Pidgeys.
No, look at those ugly motherfuckers. And it's green and
Pidgeys
yellow.
Are deserving of love. There's only one Pokemon.
Birds aren't even real.
There's only one Pokemon not deserving of love, and it's Duat.
What did Duat do to you?
That's a story for another time.
Oh, I feel like you've mentioned this before.
It's a red flag.
You want to see what else I got real quick?
Sure. Oh my gosh, you got one of the Sleeping Cutie plushes.
Yeah, it's a Charmander. My little friend group got me that for my birthday.
Very cute. I'm waiting for the Pokemon store. Wow, we've really, really gone on a tangent here about Pokemon, but I'm okay with it. I'm waiting for the Pokemon Center to release because they have the whole, they've been going through each generation and doing like versions of every Pokemon like sitting down and like a really like. I'm waiting for them to do the Galar region because I really want a Hatrem plush. And I don't think that they've done the sitting cuties for Galar yet. I just no, because they've done the first 6, so we're still 2 away. I think they're going to do a Lola and then they'll do Galar.
So who are you looking for?
Hatrem.
I don't know if I know that one
because I have a Piplup, but I don't
right.
have
you have something up there.
Oh, I have 2 Piplups. I have that one. Can I? Actually, I'm not gonna.
Oh, Hatrem. Okay, yeah. I remember that was in the Pokemon quiz thing that we did.
Yeah, but I have this Piplup that's like a Santa Claus Piplup riding a Mantike, and then I have a bunch of Pokemon plush. I have like Chikorita, and I have Hatena. And I have a Pikachu dressed as Hatrem, but I don't have a proper like Hatrem plush. And I don't think they've made one yet.
I've seen a few Pikachus dressed as Charmander, and I also think that's the cutest thing I've ever seen. It's just the teeth and the paws. They're so cute. Anyways. Very cute. Yeah, really bad time to get into Pokemon hunting cards if you are trying to. So yeah, good luck to all my fellow Pokemon people. And if you're a scalper, I have nothing nice to say to you.
And it doesn't really like Pokemon as a phenomenon, like when it comes to card collecting, makes no sense to me because I'm coming from Magic the Gathering, and Magic the Gathering, there are some people that really like to pull packs, but most people are smart enough that they just buy the singles that they want for their decks, right?
Yeah.
So like pre-constructed commander decks and like Secret Lair and a few things sell out really fast, but like you can go to pretty much any card store and they'll have some Magic the Gathering cards for you to open if you really care about that.
Right.
But like I find like Pokemon collectors, they don't want to just go out and like buy the card necessarily for their collection. They want to either like open it or they want to like trade for it. Like in person, and there's just this whole culture and community around it that like it's just so different. And
I mean, like I said, to me, I get it in a sense, because that's like what I was talking about is like I have like this want to like pull my own cards that I want.
Yeah.
Like when my friend Liv ripped the Cleffa, she's like, you can have it. And I was like, I don't want yours. I want my own. Like I need to find my own. Like, thank you. Or she said something about like, oh, if my friend rips one, maybe I'll buy it off of her for you. And I was like, no. Like I want to find my own.
And what is it that's like sparked this new, like, because I feel like there was there was obviously way back in the day with like Base Set and Jungle and Team Rocket, like there was the Pokemon craze when we were kids. And then there was the 2020 Logan Paul, we live in the worst timeline. We're going to open expensive Pokemon cards and rip everyone off in the year 2020.
Yep.
And now is it because of the app that everyone is back to buying Pokemon cards?
I think that's a great question, and I wish I knew. I think it might have started there, and then it kind of and I think, honestly, I think it was all planned by Pokemon. I think they're very smart. They released the app. It was fun for a little bit, and then it got very unfun very quick, I think, for a lot of people. And so they wanted that same high, so we turned to having something tangible again.
And they're notorious for like underprinting their sets, which is wild to me. Of like we're
gonna have to have another Pokemon conversation, because I as I get into it a little bit more on the collecting side, like I said, I have a lot of thoughts about it, but that is not what this is about. Right. I hope you guys enjoyed our Pokemon tangent or soapbox. Will you play the new Pokemon game? There you go. We'll loop this back in. Like
loop it back in. So there's a few. Yeah. So when they were showing off, let's go even more specific. When they were showing off the GameCube games, one of the games that they listed, like they showed us a picture of, was Pokemon Colosseum. And I want to replay Colosseum and Gale of Darkness.
Okay.
I will play Legends ZA on the Switch too, just because I can. I was not a huge fan of Legends Arceus. I think it was my own damn fault, but I am willing to give them one more chance on the Legends series before I'm just like, I'm out. This ain't for me.
Yeah.
But I am now at a point with my Pokemon, because like I used to have a living dex up until the most recent generation, Generation 9. I've had like one, like in my Pokemon home, I've had one of every Pokemon in every stage of evolution, kind of like just in a box. And whenever a game would come out, I would buy both copies and catch them all. But Gen 9, I really lost the steam for that. And now there's like been a bunch of like online exclusive event Pokemon that you can only get in raids. And I just wasn't playing or paying attention at the time. So I'm so far behind that I'm like, I don't know if I can catch up. But there is a part of me that wants to see if I can't do that before whenever Generation 10 comes out. Just to say that I have them all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll play the new Pokemon on the Switch too. But I'm not like, it's not a selling factor for me.
Yeah.
Like, because I've kind of, unfortunately, I think I've lost faith a bit in the Pokemon Company to make a game that I'm going to enjoy.
Right.
And not to say I don't enjoy Pokemon, because there's plenty of like ROM hacks, and I still enjoy the older games. And honestly, a huge selling factor, literally, if they're like, hey, do you just want to play Emerald on your Switch? Get a Switch too. I would be like, hey, take my 800 Canadian dollars and the $60 you charge me to play literally an emulator on my Switch playing Emerald. And I would be like, investment worth it. But that's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm hoping, my hope for the Switch too is by the end of its life cycle, we have some of the retro Pokemon games ported on there. Whether that's like, sort of like in the virtual console, or they make us buy it. I don't care. I'll play them. I love them.
That's I would
Emerald's
like to see a
great
lot
game.
of things be brought back. I do hope that they kind of, like you said, like a lot of the like, I don't know how many of the GameCube games are coming back, but if they are gonna push a lot of them, like even if it's like a slow roll, like I'd be cool with that because there's so many of them I would love to play.
Well, and like the Mario parties on the GameCube were really fun. You know, we'll get those.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, I forgot about that. I remember like bringing controllers to friends' house to play Mario Party because take your controller with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I have so many GameCube controllers. I wonder, because they're selling like the individual like wireless GameCube controller. I wonder if we can use the Smash Bros port like we used to be able to and plug the GameCube, like, because I have like 8 GameCube controllers. I wonder if I can like plug it in and play with them.
I think I have one GameCube controller. If you look ever so slightly, the GameCube's right there.
Yeah.
The little disc on the top that says GameCube is missing though.
Oh well.
The other thing that I thought was interesting, and I saw somebody talking about it the other day on TikTok, was it's funny to watch Nintendo be like, look at all the cool new things you're getting, but not like, I wish they would have addressed like, hey, this is going to fix XYZ. Like, they're like, oh, we're getting bigger buttons, like the control, the whatever you call it, is bigger. And somebody's like, does that mean that the drift is going to be bigger? Or did you guys finally fix that?
Right.
Because I will say, I was really lucky, and I think it's because I don't play on my Switch very often that I just started to experience the drift like a year ago. I think it's because I almost always played with my Pro controller.
Well, I think they came out. Yeah, they're not going to have that on the new. They've come out and said the Joy-Cons won't have drift.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I missed that then. Well, that's good because I know that was a big problem for a lot of people. There's a lot of people who had to send their Joy-Cons back or get new ones, or like I know a lot of people just got like fake ones because they were like, it's better than having a fucking drifty controller.
Sure. My understanding though is that's not going to be a problem.
That'd be nice.
I just want to I hope that their Pro controller is as good as the Switch Pro controller, because I think the Switch Pro controller is like my favorite video game controller of all time.
I do love mine. I agree with that. The only thing that they didn't talk about that I kind of wish they would have, and maybe it's because I missed it. I did not get to watch and sit through the whole thing live. I ended up watching like a recap later that day because I was at work. And it was something that we talked about last time, was the want for them to try to make it somewhat more like a tablet of sorts. And we talked about it last time of like, it would be really cool and really smart if they put like Netflix on there and they made it more like a Steam Deck of sorts, or any of the other like small controller things. Like having like Netflix or any of those. And I don't think they didn't talk about that, did they?
No, and I don't think so. I as far as I'm aware, that's something that's very much still lacking from the Switch, as like treating it like a proper like media home console, because that's primarily what we use my PS5 for, is
right,
like Netflix and Apple TV and Amazon Prime, and like that's it would make so much sense if you especially now that they're getting up to costing about the same as a PS5, I think.
Literally.
That is I think something you have to bring into the calculation. It's different when it's a half of the price, right? Now that it's around the same price as a PS5, and you're saying, hey, this one machine just plays games by this one developer and a few third-party games, or this other one also plays Netflix, and also you can treat as like your streaming center. It's like, oh, well, that's actually a huge value proposition, right? I don't know. I haven't seen anything about it though.
A PlayStation 5 right now is running, still, like if you went to a Best Buy, is $500, and it's been out for a few years too now at this point, or at least a year, right?
And what's the Switch allegedly going to be in your country?
I think
right
500.
Now? Yeah. Well, it'll be more, but 500.
By the time that we get to actually getting it, it's going to be more between what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think when originally they were talking about 500, which, like I said, so like to your point, it's like PlayStation 5 where I can watch Netflix and I can get a million apps for other media versus the Switch, which might not be able to do it. I will say though, what's really cool about the Switch that I did appreciate this time around is for people who don't have a PC. I think this is going to be somewhat kind of appealing to them, that you can get the camera and it basically is a built-in Discord in there. Yeah. That I did think was really, really cool, that you can turn on like your microphone and you can get a camera and you can see everybody if you're playing Mario Kart. So I think people who don't have like a PC and Discord will really appreciate it. I think the hard part is going to be finding people who would rather be on their Switch and buying a camera for it, where I'm like, oh, if we're going to do that, we'll just get on Discord.
Do you think they're going to integrate it with Twitch?
It'd be smart if they did, but I don't know.
Because they would have everything they need, right? They have a camera, they have a microphone. They already have figured out like how to overlay your face over gameplay. That
would be very smart. That could draw a whole new crowd of people, especially because there's so many content creators on Twitch who love just being a Nintendo creator.
Yeah.
That would open a lot of doors for them.
And from an accessibility standpoint, like think about all the people that stream from like Xbox but can't use their camera, right? They have a microphone. But now, not only can you have your camera, it looks like they kind of have a little bit of like overlay green screen capability.
Yeah.
Where you can have, yourself in the bottom corner and you're playing Stardew Valley or whatever on your Switch 2 and streaming it right there. You'll have your chat up.
That's very true. That's a very smart point.
Lower some, it would be a better like experience than streaming from other consoles in theory. And it'd be cheaper than trying to set up for a stream and figure out everything you need to do for that, right?
Yeah.
More money for your custom emotes.
True. Hey, speaking of emotes, if y'all haven't ever seen, Hiplop's got a sticker of me on his mic. That is me. If you guys have ever seen it and you're like, what is that?
It's a picture.
That's me.
It's Lizzie's emote.
It is.
It's a limited edition Loading Lizzie emote. Back
sticker
when we
too, because I only made, I think there's maybe like 10 people who have those stickers, and that's it. I have a few friends. Bruce, who is on like our second or third episode, he's still so annoyed that he doesn't have one of those. He's like, when are you going to make me one? I was like, do you understand how long those took? I made those in-house. I didn't contact somebody didn't print those for me. I print those, I cut them, I did everything for those. I was like, I am not making any more of those.
That must have taken you like an hour or two.
It might have been a little bit longer than that, because I went through a lot of like troubleshooting trying to figure out how to do it, because like you had to print it, and then I luckily and then I had a Cricut. Luckily the Cricut cut them out, but it took me a lot of like trial and error to get it right.
Sure.
The next stickers y'all will see will be Still Loading podcast stickers instead. And the hell if I'm doing those at a house. But yeah, so I'm trying to think if there's anything else, because we talked about, the inside too is supposed to run better. So we're getting better innards. The screen's gonna be better. I'm very interested in, obviously like the GameCube games coming and whatever they decide to port over will be really cool.
Allegedly the menu UI is like the exact same.
Yeah, I saw somebody talking about that. They're like, oh, we're upgrading our menu, and all they did is made it from like squares to everything's like rounded.
Yeah, which is like 10 seconds in CSS, which is really funny. But I hope you know what would make it perfect if because that they're going to use the same terrible, like the Switch shop. The eShop for Switch is
so
terrible.
Horrible. It is.
It's laggy.
Yep.
And it's eerily quiet.
Mm-hmm.
What if they just gave us the same shop experience, but you got the Wii Shop channel music like in the background.
Be a little bit better.
It'd be a lot better. I wouldn't complain a bit.
Make it bearable at least. Yeah. No, I hate the little orange screen. It goes
no.
and it goes on for fucking ever. And then yeah, like you said, you get in there and then it's just fucking clanky, and it's horrible. It is bad. I agree with that statement.
But hey, instead, if it was like that nice bossa nova music, you know, I wouldn't leave. I would buy more Nintendo Switch digital games. All right, Nintendo, I'll buy all of your digital upgrades, even for games I don't own, if I could just have the Switch shop channel, the Wii shop channel music in the background.
There's a lot of people who I think actually feel that that's some of like the best music ever.
It's awesome. It's very nostalgic for me, I will admit, because I was like the right age for it. But it's a home run.
Oh, I also saw this, and I don't know. Maybe you can fill me in on what the big like situation with the fact that everybody's like, oh, the Joy-Cons are getting a C button.
I think that C button is just for like the Discord feature. I don't know.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
So.
Because I know that you have one. There's like a little button in the exact same spot that the C button is in, basically.
Yeah.
But it was like a screenshot button of sorts.
And I think now it's like I think the C is for community. But like, I mean, the old Switch controllers not Switch, like Nintendo 64 had 4 C buttons, right? And then you had the GameCube had the C stick. So it's kind of also referencing like old Nintendo console.
Okay, I was gonna say, because what really is the big thing? Okay, so Nintendo did not announce what upgrade packages will cost. However, some Switch games will get free updates. That was something that I thought was interesting, is that Breath of the Wild or was it just Tears of the Kingdom?
It's both of them.
Is
they
it okay?
Both get like a Google Maps, like here's how you find this Korok seed, and I'm like, please, I'm not paying $10.
Well, no, they're also getting like the HD basically revamped, to my understanding too.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if it's really. I saw like a side by side comparison, and I was like, it's not like a big enough revamp that I'll be. I mean, I'm going to continue to play that game over and over for the rest of my life, most likely.
But it's only worth it for me if they add the Wii Shop channel to the eShop. That is my price. If they don't give me that music, I'm not paying $10 to be able to see a bit further in Tears of the Kingdom.
Let's see if there's anything else that. So yeah, some of the games was the Borderlands, Cyberpunk. I mean, there's a good amount. I can't imagine playing Fortnite on this.
I'm willing to bet that they're going to add Baldur's Gate 3 to it eventually. I think that's going to happen. It's too big of a game not to.
That's what they're calling it? Is they're just calling it the Nintendo 2 Switch Edition.
What?
the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Nintendo Switch 2 Edition. That's all.
Oh.
Not even like a HD or like a 4K or I don't know.
It's
Dude,
like,
I'd play Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
It's like, you know how Noah Kahan releases Stick Season just over and over and over again?
That's because it's worth it, though. That's a fucking amazing song.
We're going to get, Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Switch 2, Sad Girl Fall Edition. And we're just going to get re-releases of that game till we die.
If you guys were wondering, because we did talk about the GameCube games that are coming to Switch. Some of them are, Wind Waker, Soul Calibur 2, they're getting enhanced graphics. Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario Strikers. What is that?
That's a soccer game. It's awesome.
Oh.
It's a great game.
Yeah, they're selling GameCube controllers. Do you think that means we can sell our GameCube controllers for more money?
I don't know.
How much are they going to sell this GameCube controller for? And how much did it cost when it first came out?
Well, what I'm wondering is if they're like, if we're going to be able to actually just use our GameCube controllers via, because there's like a plugin that they used to sell, right, for Smash Bros, which I have, and you could use it on the old Switch, but I don't know if we'll be able to do it on the new Switch.
They're going on tour to show it off. Interesting. Not near me though. No. But anyways,
because I don't think there's a Nintendo store in your city.
Yeah, it's New York. It's the closest. What they have: New York and LA.
I'll be there.
In Dallas and Toronto.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a friend that applied because like it's like a lottery, and I have a friend that applied. He lives not in Toronto and not even close to Toronto, like 22-hour drive away from Toronto. But he said that he and his partner both signed up, and if either of them get in, they're going to fly to Toronto to go to the Nintendo store too.
Oh, wow.
Because it's like a lottery.
There's another one. Sorry, I'm scrolling because I knew there was stuff that we were missing.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it being the magnet thing? How it's like click. It doesn't like, you know how like the Switch One, you have the buttons to pull off the Joy-Cons?
Yeah.
And now they're like these like magnetic sticks. I think if it works, like I love the new MacBooks. Their charging port is really, really nice because it is
It's
a like,
magnetic.
stick magnet, which
Yeah.
makes it a lot easier to not break it. I'm notorious for breaking. When I was little, I had a laptop that I always broke the freaking charger for.
Right.
This makes it a lot easier to not break. So I'm curious if it's going to be good like that one. I think this could be great.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential there. And yeah, Apple has a lot of really great magnet integration. Like with the iPad, the Apple keyboard that you get is also magnetic and it clips right in. So I think it could be cool. And I actually compare Nintendo a lot to Apple in just like their design philosophy around a lot of stuff. And I think that I trust them to do the magnets well. And I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah. I think that's really everything we could talk about between what's coming, what we wanted out of it, on both sides. I don't think we really missed everything. I think we were kind of all over the place. Hope you guys could keep up.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I think overall that was kind of, the idea was to go back and see what did we want from it versus what we got and what is actually supposed to be coming from it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Unless there's any other things you wanted to add
No.
about the Nintendo at least.
No, there's nothing.
Okay, so we did this a little backwards this time, just so if you guys didn't realize, or if you don't, are typical listeners. So now we're gonna kind of back up, and we're gonna do what we typically do at the beginning, which is a catch up real quick
Sure.
of what's been going on. What have you been playing? I have been so excited to talk to you because you want to know what we're watching.
What are you watching?
White Lotus.
White Lotus. Okay.
We literally just started season 3.
And how's that going? What are your
Okay.
thoughts?
I fucking love this show. It's fucking crazy. I was not expecting. Have you seen it? I know you said your wife likes it.
My wife likes it.
Are you gonna watch it?
No.
Okay. You
I mean,
should've
Jennifer
watched it.
Coolidge is
It's okay.
great.
I
Aubrey
don't even
Plaza-
like Jennifer Coolidge, and I loved her in this.
Aubrey Plaza is
Great.
great.
Was
There's lots of great actors
incredible.
on there. I just know myself to know that I have like too much. It's too much going on. I've already promised to watch Invincible for Joey because he yelled at me a few weeks ago.
Oh my god,
So-
that's all he talks about is how we're supposed to be watching Invincible, and I'm not watching Invincible. Joey. He'll
Okay.
corner you too.
This man's goes into my DMs and is like screaming at you because you won't watch Invincible. I was like, this is literally the first time you've brought this up with me. I'll watch it. I'm not opposed to watching it. I like comics. I like superheroes. I'll watch it. But
We're already watching. Joey is part of the group that I hang out with a lot. For
Yeah.
those of you who don't know, we have a friend whose name is Joey that I was introduced to through Alex when Alex was streaming.
Yeah.
And I spend a decent amount of time hanging out with Joey a lot of days of the week. Yeah, and we're already currently rewatching The Witcher. And he already has like 3 shows planned for us. He's like, we're gonna watch The Invincibles, and then they're trying to like watch The Last of Us, which I'm not watching The Last of Us 2 with them. I'm watching The Last of Us 2 with my husband. And they're trying to rewatch the first one. I'm like, I've seen the show so many times. Or I've seen the show once in the game so many times that I don't need a second refresher. No thanks. But yeah, so we've been watching The Witcher, but we've been watching White Lotus, and it's so good. It's so good. There was a lot of things that I was not expecting. PSA, don't watch it at work or in front of your parents. That's for sure, because that's an awkward conversation. There's a lot.
oh no.
Don't watch it with your kids. There's it's crazy, but it's so good. So we're starting season 3, which I'm super excited about. But I swear to God, if anybody spoils season 3, I'm gonna be pissed because I don't post anything about what I'm watching because I don't want like my algorithm to get messed up. And already there's been so many people on Threads talking about White Lotus and like the finale and stuff, and I'm like, I'm gonna lose it. I just started season 3. Please don't ruin this for me.
Sure.
But so I've been watching White Lotus. You'll have to tell your wife that I agree. I think it's great. I haven't, I'll be honest, besides Rupo, I haven't been playing. I picked up Coral Island, which I can't remember if I said that last time. I've been wanting a farming sim game really bad, and I played Coral Island a long time ago when it first started. And then I dropped it and I picked it back up and I dropped it and blah, blah, blah. And so I'm back on it for the time being until I find another game that I want to play.
Nice.
But other than that, that's really all that's been kind of new. And that we're getting ready to leave for Vegas tomorrow, which I'm very excited about. This will be like our 6th time going back. And it is genuinely one of my favorite places ever. Never thought that I would love it as much as I do, but I do. It's so much fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I hope you have fun. I hope it's a good birthday celebration.
I'm always a little nervous to get on airplanes. I think Alex just unplugged his headphones.
I did. You're a little what? What are you?
I'm always a little hesitant to get on an airplane. I'm really hesitant to get on an airplane this time. I'm trying not to freak myself out. There's just been a lot going on with airplanes that make me very uneasy, but I'm just going to be like, it's okay. It's all good. Go say a little prayer before we get on the airplane and just pray for the best. Then once in there, I'll be okay. I don't like taking off and I don't like landing, and I try not to think about it too much when I'm in the air because sometimes I get really anxiety about being like my feet are not on the ground, and I don't like the fact that I'm stuck in here. So I'm like probably like I typically drug myself a little bit and listen to a podcast.
In the States, are pharmacists able to prescribe like Ativan for travel and stuff?
I would think so. Because I have anxiety, I have like everyday medicine that I take. And then I have one that like, if I was going to have a panic attack, it helps like bring it down quickly. Sure. The only problem with that one is I can take it and it will mellow me the fuck out. The problem is I get really tired, and if I don't sleep it off completely, I do not feel well. Yeah, so I'm like, I don't know if I want to take that one before I get on a plane because I have brunch plans when I get to Vegas that I would like to make it to.
Oh, you don't want the mimosas to be extra sloppy for sure.
Exactly. So I just gotta power through. I'm very thankful and grateful to have a husband who handles my anxiety and all of that very well. So I've been doing better about getting on planes. So I think I'll be all right. I just can't think about it too much.
Yeah. Fair. Very fair.
But what have you been up to?
Oh my gosh. So I think like I mentioned last episode, I am very much back in my like comic book era.
Mm-hmm.
I've been reading a lot of DC comics recently.
I hear your kitty.
My kitty is screaming to be let into the office.
That's so cute.
But I worry if I let him in, he'll jump up and start fucking with stuff on my desk. Because he will. So it's been a lot of fun getting back into DC right now. They have a bunch of new books that are all like, they basically, they're in their own sort of like alternate universe. So like, Batman was not born rich. Superman did not really grow up with the Kents. Mm-hmm. Wonder Woman was raised in hell instead of Themyscira. So like just kind of how that changes their character and stuff. So it's been a lot of fun getting caught up on that. And actually I am also, while working, I've been watching the MCU. So I think coming up in the near-ish future, we're going to have like an MCU related episode or two.
Where are you in your watch?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, okay.
So like a little less than halfway through. Okay. So I'm making decent progress.
Real quick, and we don't have to go into it. I'm just very curious. What is your favorite MCU movie?
Thor: Love and Thunder. Not Thor: Love and Thunder. Thor: Ragnarok. Thor: Ragnarok.
That's the same one as Daniel. He loves that one too. Okay, I'm just curious. We'll have to talk about favorites later on.
We'll talk about it because it might change. Who knows? But then I also on the board game front. So Jess was away this weekend, I guess, that just passed. So I sat down and I played a solo board game called Marvel United, which is basically you play as sort of, heroes of like the Avengers or whatever, and they have a bunch of different enemies like Red Hood, Taskmaster, and Ultron are in the base box, and you can like fight them with your kind of team, and then they like they have a deck and you keep on flipping over cards, and if they flip over all their cards or if their villainous plot is fulfilled, they win and you lose.
Okay.
So it's by a company called Cool Mini or Not, or CMON, and they're known for just printing the best miniatures out there, like for board games, or some of the best. And I like painted up all of the Marvel characters, and I like got to play through that. And now I'm on to season 2, which is the X-Men. So I've been painting up a bunch of X-Men and stuff. So that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then I guess before our next episode, I will also be going on a trip because, well, I'm supposed to. We had booked a trip to New York back in December. And given everything going on in the world, we're like, well, should we go? Because we'd have to cross a border, right, from Canada to the United States, which we didn't think at the time of booking was going to be a concern. But right now the plan is to go. We're going to drive up the night before and cross the border. So if we get held up for a few hours, which we've been hearing about some folks getting held up at the border, we're going to have time.
Yeah.
And then, I'm also going to be braving a plane, and I'm also someone who does not do well on planes. So I'm hoping they let me bring my Ativan across the border.
Are you somebody like me who like doesn't like I personally, like I said, like I don't like takeoff and landing very much. I think for me, takeoff is worse than landing. In the air, I'm okay. Is there like one specific part that you don't like, or is it just like the whole? Like me, I also do not like TSA. When they start yelling and they're like, "Don't put your stuff in the to take this out," I'm like, "Hey, whoa, hold on."
I don't mind TSA. I don't mind. I think for me, honestly, it's turbulence I'm not good with, and it's takeoff. Landing, I'm okay with usually.
Yeah, landing for some reason doesn't bother me as much as takeoff does.
So given the, I guess, because I haven't heard much of like plane crashes since like January, right? Like I felt like that was big in the news in January, February.
Yeah.
Been
Thank God
it's
been cool.
But yeah, maybe I should be more worried about landing.
No, you shouldn't. It's okay.
Maybe and Liz, I just left my last therapy session before my trip. Thank you for this new anxiety that you've given me.
No, I'm
here.
sorry. I'm
Wow.
so sorry. I'm really bad at flying. I really am, but
Yeah,
it's
me
okay.
too.
It's gonna be all right.
But I did the flight to Europe, and you know what? I just popped some meds and had a great time.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm going to be able to, because I don't know if we're going to be willing to cross the border with any pills in the car. Because I don't want to be like accused of like I don't want to get too much politics for the show, but still, yeah. So I'm hoping to be able to go on that trip, and if not, that's okay too. Because
what are y'all doing on the trip?
We're gonna go see Nick Jonas on Broadway.
Oh, that's right. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I am I would say 80% sure I'm going to see them again.
Oh, really?
Yep. Me and my childhood best friend, who we were both super obsessed with the Jonas Brothers back in the day. We got to go last year to see them when they were in Nashville, and that was really cool. And then this year we'll travel somewhere else to go see them. Because it's going to be me, a friend, and another friend. Actually, 2 other friends. There's going to be like a group of us that are going this year. So I'm super excited to be able to go do that again.
We went when they were in Ottawa because Lawrence was the opener.
I remember. Because we went to the same tour.
Yeah. I texted Jess and I was like, hey, do you want to go see, like, Lawrence is playing in Ottawa. Do you want to go see it? Because I also, like, my sister was living there at the time. And Jess was like, maybe. And then I was like, oh, yeah, they're opening for the Jonas Brothers. And she's like, we're going.
Has she always been a Jonas Brothers fan? Was she also part of like the Joe Bros fan club back in the day? She's
been a Joe Bros fan for life. Like she booked this trip to New York. I I've seen the last 5 years enough times, and I don't really care enough about Nick Jonas. I wasn't like, I got to go to New York to see this show.
Is that her favorite Jonas brother?
I don't know.
Okay.
I should know. I think it's Nick, but I don't know.
That's my favorite. So,
And who knows? Great minds think alike. But yeah, she very much wants to go see this. But I was like, well, I'm not gonna not go to Broadway. But I also like, I'll go to the Nintendo store. I'll probably go to Midtown Comics. We'll go to like some museums and stuff. I think we want to go see. There's a play called John Proctor's The Villain.
I'm sorry. Can you hear that?
I heard a squeaking sound.
I'm so sorry. We have a Roomba, and it's about to go apparently.
All right. Anyway,
Continue.
so yeah, it'll be a fun trip. It'll be a fun trip to just like, and it might be the last time we go to the States for a little while. So
yeah.
We'll see.
Well, this was great per usual. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is crazy. This is, what is this, 23, which is, wow. I think, let me double check. Yeah, this will be 23 episodes, guys.
The best year.
We appreciate you. We're also, if I'm not mistaken, we are narrowing in, on 800 downloads.
Holy crap. And we're narrowing in on a year, I think.
And we're narrowing on a year.
It was about this time last year that we had our first meeting about this podcast.
Yep.
Did we start in August? Is that when we started?
I can tell you, actually. Because I feel like it pulled up right now.
I feel like we like agreed to do the podcast, and I was like, all right, but I have a million years of summer theater to get through first.
At the time, yeah. Let's see. All episodes. Why isn't it just showing me? Oh, there it is. Okay. So our Nice to Meet You and episode 1 was June of 2024.
Holy crap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're 2 months away from a year of doing the Still Loading podcast.
Wow.
Which is also still kind of wild.
We have to figure out what we're going to do on that anniversary. It's got to be a special one.
It's going to have to be. That's kind of wild. I did not realize that we were that close to a year.
That's an achievement. Not every podcast gets there, and I'm proud of us for how consistent we've been.
Yeah, we have not missed. We have scheduled early or whatever we needed to do to make sure that you guys get your episodes. And I'll be honest, like, it's really cool. Like, it's been, I say this all the time, it's really cool to see, like, just today we had 3 downloads, and that's really awesome that it's just very random. And it's really cool because on my side with the app, I can see where people are listening from. Wow. So like, we have somebody in like the Netherlands that have downloaded, Japan, France, Germany, like obviously majority is here in the States. But like,
what do you mean here in the States? We're 50-50. We're 50-50 Canadian United States podcast.
See any. Anyways, there's a lot of US on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like really cool to be able to see that like you guys are listening like freaking everywhere. And like I said, closing in on what did I say, 800 downloads is also insane. So I will continue to say thank you because as much as I love doing this regardless, it's really cool to see that you guys are listening. Like our friend, like I said earlier, like our friend Joey, he like literally is like, I need you guys to start doing this every week because he travels a lot, and he's like, this is like one of the only podcasts I listen to. He's like, so I enjoyed like just sitting and listening to my buddies. I was talking to Kelly last night. She came and played some games with me, and she was like, she came and played Repo.
Fun.
And she was like, I love listening. She's like, I listen when I'm doing my laundry. She goes, you guys help get me through like my laundry. And I was just like, I love hearing that you guys are like just listening and hanging out. I will say I'm also quite proud of our audio quality. I was listening in my car and I was like, man, I think we have a lot going for us on our quality, because I hope you guys realize that not every new podcast has as good sound quality as Alex and I have right now.
Well, I mean,
y'all
we have the streamer background, right?
I was going to say, y'all are lucky that we got the streamer background with good mics, because, it could be worse.
Cool.
But all that to say, thank you guys. And I hope you guys have fantastic beginning of April. And we will see you guys next time.